Hi, welcome back everyone to depression-youarenotalone.com. Behind the scenes, as always, is John. You want to say hello today?
No.
And Shannon is not here today because Shannon had other things she did yesterday. She made a choice of doing other things yesterday, which leaves her unable to be here today.
Well, the squirrel family came and took her back.
Yeah, the squirrel. Oh, I got to watch. I don't click the pen now. She's not here to take it from me. She's here as support, but, we all make choices, and she made a choice to do something else, which leaves her unable, as I said, to be here today. But that's fine, right? Everyone has a right to make choices. Wouldn't you agree on that?
Maybe.
Yeah, well, you hope good choices, but whatever choices you make sure, you understand they're yours. So last week, you remember I was a little fired up about the televangelists. I'm going to talk a little bit about the televangelists, but at the end, I'm going to tell you why. Why talk about them? Because there are a couple of big whys there of me bringing this up. I've been following these people for years. And you might say, well, if you don't care for them, why do you follow them? Because you know what? You want to be aware of things, right?
Know your enemy.
You want to know what is going on out there. How is this happening? For example, I talked about how this guy, he said God talked to him. Remember, God just was sitting next to him, just talking to him, like just having a normal conversation. And of course, the conversation was about money. Because let's face it, God's gotten to the point. It's 2021 where God's probably saying, listen, I got overhead here, right? I have pension plans and expenses. I'm not doing things for nothing. So, you need to send me money. I need money. I guess the accounting department said, hey, God, listen, you got to get more money in here. We need more revenue. Right.
The Angels' insurance is going through the roof.
Right, because the money doesn't go to the televangelists that live in mansions and loaded with jewelry, no, it goes to God, of course, right? That's where it goes. And, now, of course, with these televangelists, you know what I love what they do? I love it when they do this. So there's someone out there who's got liver cancer. And they point to the liver cancer. And right now they're getting healed. So there's that person watching TV going, oh, wait a minute. That's me. I've got liver cancer. That's me. But then you find out you didn't get healed. Of course you didn't get healed. You didn't send money in.
Well, you got to send
How
money.
do you expect God to heal you if you don't send in money? What are you people crazy? You want something for nothing? Right? People don't work for free. God's not working for free. And these televangelists tell you this. I mean, and some of them can, da la bula, da da di do la da da, do 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 la la do do. They can speak in tongues.
Yeah, and then there's a load of doo-doo.
Do you want to know what God said to them? Well, you're going to have to pay for the translation. Right? You got to pay for the translation.
Well, you have to plant the seed, and you get the translation bits and pieces.
Right, plant a seed. Yeah, plant a seed. If you want to plant seeds, start a garden, because that'll be better for you health-wise. Physically, you'll get exercise. You'll be outdoors. Plant those seeds in the garden. Don't give these thieves money, because they're all thieves. God, and this isn't about religion, because there are people of faith that despise these people.
Yeah.
Despise them. There are people of faith who've seen a family member victimized by these people. Because that's what they do. They make you victims. They target people. So, as I said, at the end of this, I'm going to talk about why I talked about this. Why? Because there are several big whys that I want to put out there. As I mentioned, the other couple that ran that religious channel that both died, who had the healer on their network, who didn't heal them, he didn't heal anybody. He's a scammer, as they all are. They're all scammers. They should all be in jail. Oh, and taxes. We have to pay our taxes. They get away with murder, right?
They get away with living in 20-room mansions called parsonages
Yeah, of course.
and belongs to the church, but it's still their house.
Of course. And the jewelry. They probably, like I said last week, I don't know that they spend a lot on plastic surgery because most of them look like they fell down a flight of stairs face first, got up, brushed themselves off, fell down another flight of stairs face first, got up, walked into the street, and got hit by a bus. I don't know where these people get their plastic surgery. I really don't know. I mean, if they have that connection to God, for starters, they shouldn't even need any plastic surgery. They should look wonderful at all times. But God would guide them because if they're charging you a fee as a middleman, right, they're basically subcontractors.
Yeah, they get a percentage of what they give to
Right,
God.
they're basically subcontractors. God is going to heal you or this or that, but the money has to go through them first. They're like, an agency for God.
They're
you think-
basically God's bankers.
You'd think God would say, hey, listen, don't go with that plastic surgeon, because God has conversations with him. Right? That's what they say. Oh, God
Oh, yeah.
talked to me and told me this, told me that.
Well, look at the two guys talking about planes.
Right. The two, there's more than two.
There's more than two.
But you'd think if they have these personal conversations with God about money, about things like that, God would say, okay, listen, that plastic surgeon, don't use that one. I got a better one for you. And just tell him, this is the guy you got to go. This guy's good. Because God has all these personal conversations with him. You'd think he'd have a conversation about that as well. Gee, I mean, man, come on, man. You have God talks to you all the time. Just, conversations. You'd think, as a matter of fact, too, when these televangelists, they're, remember, crying because you got caught with a hooker? Didn't God maybe jump in and say, hey, what are you doing? Right? What are you doing here? This is absurdities. I swear, I don't understand. It's 2021. These people still exist. And in this country, everything's political, right? So any politician that goes after these people, political suicide.
Big time.
Is what it is. Political suicide. And you politicians all know they're scamming and stealing from people. They're getting away with not paying taxes. They're the biggest lowlifes on this planet. Not one of you will open your mouths. Not one of you. Not a Democrat, not a Republican, no one. Because to you guys, first and foremost is what? Keeping my job.
Yeah, nice cushy job at that.
Yeah, I don't want to get into politics, but you have a job. If you don't show up for work, that's fine.
You get paid, great
Yeah,
health
that's
care.
fine. If you don't show up for votes, yeah, that's okay. As long as when it's time for election, you get reelected. That's all that matters. Wait, I'm going to run for office. You know what? I think I'm going to run for office. On what platform? I don't know yet, but I'll think of something absurd. And because the more ridiculous it is, the better chance you have of winning. Maybe I'll run as a right-wing Republican and talk about free guns for everyone. Like when you're born at the hospital, you're issued a gun right there on the spot with your birth certificate.
They already do that in Texas.
I'll win. I'd win. I mean, depending on what district I'm in and what state, right?
Yeah.
You're born, birth certificate, and a gun. They give you a gun right there on the spot. Oh yeah, that's the guy I want, right?
Yeah, they give you a tiny little
Yes.
kid gun.
That's the I'm talking about a revolver. I mean, listen.
No, it's a little miniature one for little babies.
Yeah, but it's gotta be able to blow through a wall or
Well,
something.
for the kids, it shoots 22. When,
Oh,
when
yeah.
they get 5, they get full size.
Either that or a hunting rifle or something like that, and then the parents can take the pictures with the kid
With a
dressed
dead
in-
deer
Yeah.
that they killed just so they can hang the head on the wall.
Yeah, the room of death. Have the room of death. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. I want to get back to the televangelists. So these people, like I said, the ones that speak in tongues, I just love that. How you could make up gibberish like you're a 3-year-old, and that's how God talks to you. Well, why can't God just talk to you clearly? Yeah,
Or to everybody else for that matter.
it's God. But he talks to you in gibberish. And when he talks to you, he talks about money. Wow. That makes sense. God talks about God, what do you want me to do? And for anybody out there saying, okay, you don't know what you're talking about, that's not real. Oh, really, it's not? How about you look it up? Go to YouTube. Look up televangelists. Look up televangelists. Look up televangelists speaking in tongues. Look up all these things.
John Oliver did a good session on television.
Yes, you can look at that.
On last week tonight.
Last week tonight, you can look at that one. That was great. I laughed. I think we've seen it 2 or 3 times. It's just cracked up.
I've seen it like 5 or 6. You can't stop watching.
You can't stop watching because it's amazing how these people exist. The only reason they exist is because there are millions of people that exist that believe them. Right? If they had no followers, they wouldn't exist. Now, I had mentioned last week about a lady that during that telethon. Remember when I said that, how they were reading how she said she gave God all of her savings, wiped out her savings and sent it to God.
Yeah, it was like $10,000 or something like that.
So this is answering one of the whys of talking about this. If you have a parent or a grandparent that you know is hooked on these people, you need to look out for them. Protect them. I'm telling you to protect them from these people that say they are people of God. They're false prophets. They're not people of God. They're thieves. If you have someone, let's say an elderly parent or grandparent, or even a spouse, in a moment of weakness can call in, wipe out all of their savings and give it to these people, do you think they're going to say, no, sister, the fact that you offered God, that is enough for God to heal you, to take care of you. You keep your money to live your life. No, they will take every last penny. That's why I bring this up. I also said in several episodes ago, everything I've been through with depression, everything else has made me very sensitive to what other people go through. Sensitive for other people. It is criminal that somebody like this, one of these televangelists, can wipe a person out financially. Now again, as we've said before, right, that people need to be responsible for themselves. What if you have someone who's in their 80s, 70s, but there's a mental illness there or, something going on, and that person makes a bad decision? It can take 1 minute. 1 minute to make a phone call or to mail a check, and they're financially ruined.
They take credit cards.
And they take credit cards too. And that person is ruined financially over a moment of weakness or a mental illness that they think that if... Oh, and because the other thing too, what do they say? The bigger your seed, the more you give, the more you're going to get back. So of course God now is, hey God, I have $50. Okay, $50. Yeah, I'll fix your sty. You have a sty? Yeah, I'll fix your sty. Now, if you have something more serious, I need more money. You got to give more money. Sorry, this is, just you need the money. Need the money. God needs the money. Please do not fall for this. So many people have been wiped out. Not only that, they've also convinced people, instead of going to get professional medical care, to give them money for them to heal people. What do you really think the result is going to be? Don't go to the doctor or whatever for treatment. Take your money, give it to them, and give all of it. Give as much as you possibly can if you want results. And give it to them. And people have died. People have died over this by not getting medical help because they're convinced, no, God will heal me. Of course, if you give them money. It's all about money. Money. Private jets. How about that guy bragging about how he can buy the private jet in cash?
In cash.
Cash. Where did that cash come from?
$45 million or some ridiculous amount
where'd the
of money.
cash come from? It fell from the sky? No. It's from people that were targeted that I'm sorry to say are fools. You're a fool. If you think God, if you're a believer in God, and you believe God is only going to help you if you send them money, yeah, if you go to your auto mechanic, he's not going to fix your car without paying him. Okay, that makes sense, right? But what's the other guy say? Oh, and this is his words, not mine, folks. And midgets have gotten taller.
Have grown or something like that.
Midgets
yeah.
have grown. And now there's this person with a shoulder problem. And now that shoulder, it is healed. It is healed. Over the phone, they can do this even just over the phone. Because the trick is this. They're gonna say things, right? Illnesses. This person is struggling with their job. This person, they're struggling in their marriage. They're going to say all these different things, but God just took care of that. Oh, this person is struggling with their job. So there's someone sitting there listening going, that's me.
Yeah, along with a few other 1,000 people. They know who to target. So somebody's got a shoulder injury. Oh, yeah, I do.
Of course there's somebody has a shoulder.
There's a whole bunch of other people.
Of course.
But he's not going to hook them all, but he'll hook a few of them.
Right, but
That's
he's
the
going to
idea.
make people, they're going to make people think this, because they're saying that this person has that problem, and now they're healed. So when that person hears, oh, there's someone with a shoulder issue, they have a shoulder problem, and God just healed them, praise Jesus. And that person's going, he was talking about me.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait a minute. It's still there. It didn't go, you know what? Because someone else had my problem, they sent in money, and they got healed. I have the same problem. I didn't send in money, so I didn't get healed. So what's the answer? I got to send in money.
Big time.
I got to send money. So again, here are the whys. The why, like I said, to watch out for anyone you know that's hooked on these people, because they will bankrupt them. If they can, they will wipe them out, every last penny. That's one of the whys. The other why is this, and this applies to many, many things. I've had these discussions with people, and they're like, okay, why do you care, man? They're not going to get you, right? They're not getting you, so why do you care? But that's the problem. There's too much of this. If it doesn't affect me, why should I care? Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, it happens every day.
In everything,
Everything.
right? If it doesn't affect me, then why should I care?
Especially mental illness.
I'm not going to be a victim. Somebody else is, but it's not me, so why should I care? That's the problem. That's the big, big why that I wanted to get to, as to why I talked about this. Because I always say, when I talk about something, it's to make a point. The caring about other people, the caring about what other people go through, there are millions that do. There are millions that don't care. Caring about other people is how you're going to make a country better, a society better, how they'll improve your own quality of life by feeling good about you care about someone, and maybe you'll actually do something to help someone else instead of, hey, if it doesn't affect me, not my problem, not my problem. Okay. And then the results are scams, schemes, wars, children being abused, somebody being abused. People know, they don't do anything about it. They don't say anything about it. Don't want to get involved. None of my business, right?
You've got a person that's going through a mental illness, some kind of a breakdown. No medical professional shows up. The cop shows up, and maybe he'll blow him away, which has happened.
Or there's a child next door, you know the child's being abused.
Yeah.
Physically abused, you know it. You know it, you've seen it through your fence, whatever. Physical abuse, you don't do anything about it. You know what, I don't want to get involved. It's not my problem, it's not in my yard, so why should I care? Right? There's too much of that. So that's the other why I wanted to answer for anyone asking, why talk about this? Why? Because there are reasons we have to look out for other people. How would you feel if you find out your grandmother had $20,000 in the bank, it's all she had in the world, and then she comes to you saying she gave it all to God? Well, you know God didn't show up and say, oh, yeah, you cut me a check or something. You know when she said that, right, it went to a human being, a scammer. How would you feel to know that your grandmother or your grandfather or your grandparents or sister, whoever, was just financially wiped out in a moment of weakness, or because they have a mental illness, beginning of Alzheimer's or this or that or anything? Like look at Shannon's mom with Parkinson's. And that person who watches these televangelists is desperate, gives them all of their money because they're convinced they're going to be healed. Guess what's not going to happen? They're not going to be healed, but they're going to be broke. That is what will happen. So that's why we talk. That's why I wanted to talk about this, not just to criticize these horrible, horrible human beings, horrible who believe so much in God. To listen to this, they're such believers in God that they know they're scamming people, right? They know what they're doing.
Of course they know what they're doing.
Thieves. Do they fear retribution? Are they afraid of going to hell? Are they afraid of God's wrath when they know there's cheating and stealing from people? So do they even really believe in God? In all honesty, if they did, they wouldn't be doing these things, right? They'd be like, I could never do something like that.
If they were truly followers of Christ, like they say they are.
Of course. Well, not to get too religious here, but if Christ was to return right now, I would fear for his life again. And it wouldn't be the atheists that would be a danger to him. It would be those of religion that would be a danger to him. All right, so we are going to take one quick break, not for you because it's blended. It's only a split second, blink of an eye, and then we'll be right back, and we're going to talk a little bit about depression. I want to talk about depression again today, and a few other things. So we'll be right back. Hi everyone, we're back. My break, I was playing with my pen. Since I didn't have Shannon here to take it away from me, I've been trying to control myself. So, as we were talking about these televangelists taking advantage of people, right? And why should we care? Again, I urge you all, you have anyone that watches these people, please look out for them. Because so many have been taken to the cleaners by these people. And for those of you of faith, if anybody's offended by this, if you're a person of faith, you should be on my side, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Because these people aren't people of faith. These are scammers. When someone is talking about God, healing, this and that and that. Now let's get to the financials of it. Okay? Those of you, maybe we should just leave it with this and then move on.
Yeah.
Matthew 7:15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Think about that. Think about that and then ask, why is he talking about this? Talking about this too because there's a word that I've used, I think, in almost every episode, and that is consequences, right? Anybody who bites with these people, there are consequences. You could lose everything because they will gladly take everything and not leave any meat on the bone. I mean, they will just wipe you out. And then brag on TV how they have jets and they have this and they have that and they're horrible plastic surgery and whatever.
They just love to show off their riches.
Right. That's what they preach too, that God wants that for everyone. So, I live in a mansion. My landscaper lives in a mansion. When he finishes cutting my grass, he goes to his mansion, and then he's got a maid there who leaves his mansion and goes to her mansion. And
next door.
Yeah. So it's all very believable. All very believable and sensible. But I left my phone out on the porch, actually, because God actually called me. Just called me because he saw us talking about this.
Oh, so that's who you were talking to.
Well, I saw it on my caller ID.
Oh, okay.
So I knew it was God. And God talked to me, just like he talks to them. You know what God told me? Tell everyone, do not give a penny to these televangelists. Do not give any money to televangelists. They don't represent me. They're thieves. That's what God just told me. And then he asked me how were the kids and, and all of that. And so,
We ask you for money.
no, God said, I don't need money. That's what God told me. He doesn't need money. Shocker.
Yeah, why would he?
Shocker. But, yeah, he told me he didn't need any money. So tell people, do not give money to televangelists because they're thieves and they don't represent me. They're liars and thieves. That's what God told me. He talked to me just like he talks to them. Except he didn't speak in tongues. He actually just spoke English. Because he has the ability to speak any language.
Exactly.
All languages. Not gibberish to certain people. All right, so let's talk a little bit about depression. Because now I'm depressed talking about this because it infuriates me that these people even exist. I don't even know how this happens in 2021.
They're not going to go away anytime soon.
No, but they also, people with depression are targets. People with mental illness are targets. People with physical illness, cancer or whatever. Oh, and I just want to say this to you people on TV that are healers. You just, you're touching people, they're falling down, they're healed. Oh, my shoulder. Oh, wow. It's taken care of. We have a major children's hospital. 15 minutes from us, 10 minutes from us.
Yeah, about that.
You will impress me, and you got me, if you will say this. I will go to that children's hospital, right? And I am going to go room to room to room and heal all of those children of cancer. When you announce you're going to do that, I'm there. Wouldn't you be?
Yeah, I'd like to see the results.
I'd like to see it. If you can do that, then yes, you do have special powers. Absolutely you do. But when you're touching people, they're flopping on the floor and this and that and that and that, and then you're asking for money, yeah, that's a little not going to fly with me. But when you announce that I am going to go to that children's hospital, and I'm going room to room to room, and by the time I'm done, at the end of the day, those rooms are all vacant. They're all vacant. You've healed everyone. Because you have that power. You say you do. You say you do. You're a liar and a thief, but, you say you do. When you can do that, you got me. So depression. There are people that are depressed. They watch these people. They think God is going to end their depression.
Yeah,
Right?
they use religion for comfort.
If you use religion for comfort, that can be a great thing.
Not listening to these televangelists.
No, but they're not religion. They're thieves. But if you, for example, I am not a religious person, but I have no problem going to church, sitting back, relaxing. The problem that I have mostly when we go to church is the incense make me sneeze. And my eyes water. I think I'm allergic to them. I don't know.
I kind of like the incense.
No, they make my eyes water. I sneeze and sneeze and sneeze, and that's my biggest problem going to church. But I have no problem going to church, relaxing, listening to the priest. I know it brings a lot of people comfort. Prayer brings a lot of people comfort. That's a great thing. Just like meditation brings people comfort. Calms you down, gets your life in order, gets your thoughts in order. Prayer can do the same thing, and it works. If it works, it works, right? No one has a right to criticize anybody over that. I tell you, you can't do this, you can't do that. My idea of freedom is a little extreme. It's radical. My idea of freedom is anyone should be allowed to do anything they want, as long as you don't harm anyone else. What you do in your home, it's nobody's business. There are other people's idea of freedom is, I should have the freedom to not allow you to do things that I don't like, right? That's some people's idea of freedom.
That's a lot of people's idea of freedom.
I should have the freedom to say, you can't do that because I don't like it. But it has nothing to do with you. It doesn't affect you. No, but you shouldn't be allowed to do it because to me, I don't like it, so you can't do it. That's freedom. No, freedom to me is anybody can do whatever they want as long as they don't harm someone else. That should be what freedom is. Look what's going on all over the world. Look at Afghanistan right now. Ah, that's wonderful. right?
Yeah, they're going back to their old ways.
Right, the freedom of telling people, you're going to have to do this, this, this. They have the freedom to.
Well, they have
do
the
that.
freedom to do what you tell them to do.
Right, that's wonderful. Wonderful to live like that, or to die like that. Actually, in many cases, right? But these people target the vulnerable, and I, as I said, am very sensitive to those going through depression and other things because of what I've gone through. So I try to put the word out for people to be aware, and to protect others and your family, friends from these vultures. Because once they've taken forever. You're not getting it back. You're not getting it back. Now, you know, I was talking about Shannon earlier, right? That she's not here, right? We still have the article "Loneliness" pinned on the website. May want to repin that one.
No.
And I may want to repin that one.
We do have one for Toys for Tots.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great.
That's been pinned, and that'll be on through December 26th.
Yeah, so please check out the website. It's www.depression-youarenot-alone.com. If you're watching on YouTube, it's down below the video as well. I believe the Twitter handle is also on there.
That one might not be on yet.
Okay. Well, you usually have the website pinned underneath the video, correct? The link to the website.
Oh, link to the website's under the video.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The link to the website is under the video, so if you can do that. And also give us
Yeah,
a like, please, if you will. And if you want to leave a comment, great. And if you want to email us, you can email us through the website if there's something you want to talk about. And let's try to keep it positive if we can. I wasn't here being negative. I'm here trying to talk. What I was talking about wasn't to be negative, it was to try to protect people. And to get others to look out for others as well, so they don't get harmed because they're vulnerable.
The article we've got for Toys for Tots is Help Make Christmas Merry for Native American Children.
Yes, if you can read that, please. And
There's a link in the article for Toys for Tots for that particular donation, but you can donate to anything else.
Yeah, if you
go to that
and
their
listen,
site.
if you can donate, please do. Read the article, and if you can, I mean, please do. It's holidays are so rough sometimes. I mean, if we can help anybody out, we do. We always have, and if you can as well. So as I was saying about Shannon not being here, for example, you know, Shannon is here as a support. She chose that to do something else yesterday, which didn't allow her to be here today. Those are choices. I'm okay with that. People make choices.
What'd you do? Put her on timeout?
No. Actually, I put my daughter on timeout one time when she was little. It lasted for about 5 seconds. I couldn't stand it. I took her right out of timeout. I hated it. I hated it.
Which one?
Lala.
Oh, well.
Yeah, she was in timeout for about 5 seconds. I took her out of timeout. I couldn't stand it. It seemed cruel to me. So I couldn't do it. I never spanked my kids either. Not that I didn't think about it. No. Especially when they were teenagers. My God, man. Spanking them.
There's pills that do a better job.
Yeah, my kids were never on medications, thankfully, other than an antibiotic here or there. I was on medication. Probably may have been part of the cause I was on so many. Now, also, speaking of depression, I wanted to get back to last week we talked about the pills, remember? Doctors will give you this and that.
Cocktails.
Yeah, listen, we're never saying to anyone to not take pills. The whole point of that conversation is that there are so many things that we can do for ourselves to not be on so many medications. Maybe you're on 6. Maybe if you work on things, you can get down to 5, 4, 3, 2. I have a buddy of mine, Nick, just told me he's lost 20-something pounds.
He has?
Yeah. I haven't seen. He's in Ohio right now with his dad, taking care of his dad. But he had said that he's getting off his blood pressure medication.
Oh, good.
And he's got high cholesterol. I mean, it's like, off the charts. He may be getting off that as well. See, so he did something.
Right.
He did something to get to that point. That's the same thing with mental illness.
It takes work.
But in some cases, you need to be on medication. You have to be on medication. You have to be. Understood, no doubt. But in some cases, I'm a living example of that. I'm not the only one. There are many, many people that have gotten off medications or reduced the number of medications. So what we were talking about last week, I don't want anybody ever to think that we're saying, oh, medications, you need to stop taking them or this or that. No. I want to make that clear because that's a very important point. Because I don't push medication or against medication. But we can get off of a lot of medications because the fact of the matter is long-term taking medications, it damages your organs. It's a fact. There may be doctors that'll tell you, you know what, I'm not going to give you this because, no, I'm not giving you this one because it's bad for you or it can be detrimental to your health. And there are most doctors, unfortunately, these days, that don't care. They'll just give you whatever. Right? Remember the hot girl coming in, the drug man, yeah.
Like the commercial says, ask your doctor.
Yeah, well, and when everybody's dancing and partying and having a great time because they're on that medication, it's really to tell you, look at this guy. He's got this condition. He's dancing, he's at a barbecue, he's having a great time. Odds are because he's on that medication,
But
right?
the commercial doesn't tell you what it's for.
Yeah, but if he's having such a great time, well, wait a minute, I want some of that.
Oh, yeah.
I want some of that, so I'm going to go tell my doctor, hey, I want this medication. Yeah, but you don't need it. Yeah, I want it. No, I want it because I got this, I got that. The doctor might even say, yeah, but the medication isn't for your condition. Oh.
Some doctors will say that.
Oh, crap. Then what? Yeah, but everybody's having a good time.
The doctor will go, oh, well, he got something else that might
Everybody's
help
having
you.
a good time in that commercial, and you can't give me that? Marketing, right? Market everything.
I was sitting at my orthopedist's office one day, and there was a guy sitting next to me, and the drug babe walks in. Now, this sort of orthopedic, I always waited 35, 45 minutes before I even went in. And the guy there, he was usually had the same appointment I did. And he sees the girl coming in, he goes, well, our appointment just got pushed back another hour.
Oh, yeah.
He was right. An hour later, she walks out.
Yeah, well, she's got to go through the literature. And then the doctor's going to hint, you know, oh, is your family, you're married, your children?
Oh, yeah.
You know, you walk in, it's like, what is this, a Miss America beauty contest or something like that? What the hell's going on here?
All the drug babes I've ever seen are not married. At least they're not wearing rings.
Well, they probably take them off, right? Because it's for business.
Yeah, it's business.
Right? It's like a stripper or something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not saying comparing a drug rep to a stripper. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, listen, it's like if you watch the local news, the weather forecasters, right?
Yeah, most of them are babes.
When we were young, it was these older men or whatever, remember?
Yeah.
Older men. Now, it's like a beauty contest. Why? Well, we got to get viewership. We're going to get men to watch
the weather. Yeah.
You know, and watch them. It's all marketing. Everything is marketing. But unfortunately, people with mental illness are it's a big target because a lot of us with mental illness, you can be on so many different drugs, you know? So many different drugs, and they can push another one and another one. Like I talked about last week, that commercial about that drug that's out, but it's if you're already taking other drugs.
Right.
It's not like if you have depression, you're not taking any drug, take this one. No. This is for those that are already on medications, for you to take another one. Because they keep coming up with more and more and more stuff to where I remember I was at a point I couldn't drive. I couldn't drive a car. If I drove a car, I'd be a disaster on the road.
Oh yeah, load down with some of these drugs. No,
I was, a zombie. I couldn't drive. If I got pulled over, they'd be like, I don't smell alcohol on your breath, but you're a disaster here.
It's still a DUI.
Yeah, and I'd say, well, here, let me show you my pill bottles. Like a lady on Saturday Night Live, she's a school bus driver. She's got all her medications.
Yeah.
I think it was Sherry O'Terry.
Yeah.
She's got all these medications. Her lipstick's up the side of her face. Makeup's a mess. She's got hundreds of medications.
Well, being a school bus driver, you kind of need.
Well, I think that was Sherry O'Terry that did that skit. But you know, for depression, you know, talking about depression, we need to work on things so we're not on all those medications. Again, when you have to be, you have to be. We also need support from people on a consistent level. If you're not there to support someone sometimes, okay, that's on you. It always seems like we have always been there for other people. Do we really have a lot of people in our lives that have been there for us?
No.
No, we have a few friends, Vicky, people that we can count on,
Yeah,
but very few.
Yeah.
But we've done so many things for other people. As a matter of fact, our dad's, the article I wrote about our dad, you should probably pen that one. To see all the things he did for people, got people jobs, whatever. And so many people were never even said thank you. Remember?
Yeah.
They used to just disgust me. And again, as I said in previous episodes, this is the least religious man on the planet. The least religious person you could ever find. He didn't do things for people because he was looking for a reward. He just did things because it was right, because he thought it was right to do. As he used to say, everybody has a right to work and feed their families. I learned a lot from him when I was young, how he would scold me because I was young. I didn't understand things, you know, and he would scold me and to get thoughts in my head, to realize there are things that are just right. They're just right, and that's why you do them. I learned from that because we have to go through life learning. The biggest mistake we can make is go through life and not learn a damn thing. And then, why? Why me? Why me? Why do we do the same things over and over and over and expect a different result? We know what that is, right? We all know what that means. But, you know, again, we do these episodes, we talk about a lot of different things because they matter, how our lives are affected. When we have an illness, is it some false prophet, some scammer on TV that's going to solve that problem for us? No, that's not how it works. If we, that is almost like, you know what, I have this problem, just give me a pill, right? So I don't have to do anything. I have this problem, if I send you money, you're going to take care of it for me. Well, God will do it. But someone else will just take care of it if I just send you money. Or if I just take a pill. We need to do things. We need to have a strategy. We need to think, use common sense, succeed, fail, learn from the failures, learn from success, which is much easier, right? Wouldn't you agree that's much easier, right?
What?
You do something, hey, this worked. I'm going to do it again.
Well, you learn from their mistakes.
Yeah, but a lot of times people give up. They make a mistake. Oh, I don't, you know what? I don't know what to do now.
A lot of times people
I don't
do
know
the
what
same
to do.
thing, expecting a different.
Right, that's insanity. But
That article's pinned.
which one?
Losing my father.
Losing My Father. If you can read that one, you'll get an understanding of our dad. Oh, also how he felt about racism.
Yeah, it'll
right?
be on for about a week.
How he felt about racism.
Yep.
How he felt about colonization.
Yep.
How he felt about all of that. So if you get a chance, please go. It's pinned on the website and read that, please. And you'll get an idea too of our background, how you know, how we care about other people because we learned that from our parents. We were fortunate. We were very fortunate in the parents that we had. It's heartbreaking to lose them, of course, but it's also important that we look back and are grateful that we had them, because that's another thing.
Learned some serious life lessons.
Yes, we did. And examples,
Yeah.
from their examples.
Yeah.
Next week I'm going to tell you a story about our neighbors. What I experienced as a kid, hatred as a kid. Now I'm going to say
across
that
the street.
across the street and next door.
Next door, yeah.
I'm going to tell you these stories about I experienced hatred at a young age because of, not because of my color. These people were the same color we were. We looked like them, they looked like us. But my parents had accents. They were from another country. They weren't from a third world country, they were from Europe. And one of our neighbors was from, ancestor is from Italy. Which, I mean, you throw 10 Portuguese and 10 Italians in a room, you can, just by looking at them, you can't even tell the difference. They're all eating and drinking, right? They're all going to ask about, hey, is there any food? Are we going to eat?
Yeah, food and wine.
Food, wine, that's all they want to know, and love.
Yeah.
And love, right? But I'm going to tell that story next week. I just want to preface it with this. For any D-bag out there that's 19 years old that is going to say, oh, you're not allowed to talk about that, because I decided that there are people who've been through worse than you, so you're not allowed to talk about that. I'm a 19-year-old douchebag that's never been through anything, but I am the conscience of the Twitter world, YouTube, Facebook, everything.
The professionally offended.
The professionally offended. For one of those, no, there are people who've been through a lot worse than I've been through. But no one has a right to say to someone, you're not allowed to feel that, you're not allowed to think that or say it because I decided that. Go screw yourself. Okay, just go screw yourself. Don't even waste your time. You go through something first before you open your mouth, because you've been through nothing. It's usually people like that have been through nothing. All right, so I'm going to tell you that story so you have an idea how I feel about other people that go through similar situations, hatred, racism, how I feel about those things and how they affect our mental health as well. All right, so maybe Shannon will be here next week, maybe she won't. Her decision, right?
Depends on the squirrel family, too.
The squirrel family, if they keep her or not, or if they send her off to college. I don't know.
Well, bearing the nuts 101.
Yeah, well, whatever. She'll figure it out. If not, we'll get a different. See if we can get Cat.
No, that'd be good.
See if we can get Cat. All right, folks. So we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.